Welcome back to the Look Mum, I'm Hustling podcast. The energy is flowing. You said you're going to have an energy of level 10 today.
Level 11.
Level 11, you're going to crank the dial on the amp all the way up.
Yeah. What is that from Spinal Tap, isn't it? Like volume. Like it's from that scene. It'd be like maxed out, but he's like, do it to 11.
I thought it was Wayne's World.
No, I'm pretty sure it's Spinal Tap.
This is Spinal Tap.
Yeah.
Good mockumentary film.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever listened to Spinal Tap?
I've watched the movie, but I haven't
No, the actual band. Is it an actual band, right?
No, it's a mockumentary, so it's a pretend band. So they obviously release an album, but it's like the soundtrack for the movie.
I'm pretty sure it's a real band as well.
Would it be? I don't think so.
Bring it up for a sec. Bring the screen up.
It's a Spinal Tap.
Spinal Tap, the band, in the late 60s, was a psychedelic pop band.
Right.
And then, mockumentary?
Mm-hmm.
Spinal Tap first appeared on the 1979 television sketch comedy pilot, the TV show starring Rob Reiner. The sketch, actually a mock promotional video, was written. The band starred in the mockumentary This is Spinal Tap. So it's an actual band.
No, it's a fictional English heavy metal band. Fictional.
Oh, fictional. I didn't read that at the top. I thought they were an actual band.
No, it's a mockumentary. Same as like the Ruttles, which is like a mockumentary on like the Beatles.
The what?
The Ruttles. Ruttles, I think. The Ruttles. Yeah.
Never heard of that one.
Yeah, so it's another mockumentary and it's just like a Beatles sort of style one.
Right.
Yeah.
So, interesting. That looks so silly.
It's all like very like Monty Python-esque sort of
Gotcha.
style. Yeah. The Ruttles.
Well, that reminds me of, I've been seeing Brendan Fraser everywhere.
Yes, because he won the Academy Award.
Yeah, but that reminds me of Airheads. It's not really a mockumentary, that's just a comedy movie.
It is, yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of funny how they're fictionalized bands. What's it like? There hasn't been many of those recently.
No, I don't think so. The whole like mockumentary sort of thing isn't as popular as it used to be. Like the Monty Pythons was always doing that sort of style. You know, they did was it like, I'm going to say Robin Hood Men in Tights, but
now it's just all Borat type stuff. Sacha Baron Cohen. That's like a
real
kind of
life kind of like getting reactions.
I wonder if
real
they're I don't know if there's maybe I'm just not aware of it. As a lot of the people in those Borat and Bruno movies, are they in on it, or is it like they're being set up? When he's coming in as a character and he's like, touch my penis and like weird stuff like that.
It's about half-half, but most of the time they're being set up, especially like all the politicians and all the people that he meets and stuff. They're like, they have no idea. They think he's like a real dude.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because he's had a bunch of like high up politicians and stuff.
Yeah. Didn't he like, I swear there's like he would have to do, like he did Trump, right? Like he met Trump or...
I think he did Trump at one point, yeah.
Someone. I can't remember who, but like, yeah, he's done some pretty high-end politicians and makes like really bad jokes and stuff. And then he just uses that English barrier as like an excuse to be like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, those movies are like, they're kind of like not politically correct enough these days. You can't really get away with it.
No, not in this particular culture. But yeah, those kind of ones where, you know, like the big bikini that he wore as well, that green one.
The mankini.
The mankini. And then I think like Jim Carrey wore it at the beach or something as like a joke.
Yeah. It's just everyone's too sensitive to that sort of stuff now.
Yeah. But I think they would be more open to the mankini now, right? You'd think?
Why?
Because everyone's more accepting of everybody's bodies.
No, I guess so. If they know it's a joke and it's a parody, they like come down on it. But if they think it's like someone that seriously wants to present themselves in that way, then they're all for like letting it slide.
Yeah.
It's about the intention.
That's true. And like, I don't think there's many that parody stuff now, right? Like you've got SNL sort of does it as like a sketch show, but I don't think they really have many movies or spin-offs and stuff from it now.
Comedy is just all podcasts now. Podcasts and stand-up. Like the movie realm, there's like, you can't get away with anything. Like a lot of the production companies just won't greenlight any of that stuff because everything's too PC, too woke these days to like really go out of the box in terms of doing some crazy comedy.
Well, I think it was, sorry to cut you off, like the Bert Kreischer, he was like, he's got a comedy coming out, like The Machine, right? And he was saying he like broke some boundaries and just really wanted to do like one of those like comedies like Tropic Thunder. Could you imagine like Tropic Thunder come out now with like Robert Downey Jr.?
Yeah, everything just has a political agenda. We watched was it You People with Jonah Hill?
Oh, yeah.
And Eddie Murphy on Netflix. And that was just like a race divide comedy, black and white cultures colliding comedy, which is trying to break down not political divide, but race, the racial divide in America by like having an interracial relationship and making it like a comedy intertwined. Everything has like a big deep message to it. It's not just like Big Daddy or Billy Madison, where it's just like just fun.
Big Daddy had like a message about, you know, fatherhood in there.
Yeah, I guess, but it wasn't like a political message or like about woke, like being woke or being on the right side of history or anything like that.
Yeah, that's very true. Like a lot of that stuff now is about like wokeness, but I guess that's just what the culture is talking about at the moment. And a lot of like, that's like the modern cinema sort of reflects what people are talking about, right? Like that's the whole thing that they mention is, you know, it's like a reflection of what's happening in society at the time, most of the time, like the modern day movies. And then you've got, you know, period pieces and all that kind of stuff that would be a little bit different. But most of the time, like comedies are meant to like reflect what's happening in society or make like a commentary on it.
Yeah, but what's happening in society is really only what's happening online. Like if you think about how many people, whatever, in our suburb or in our street aren't really online, up to date with what's going on in the social media world or on Twitter or what's like considered progressive or what's acceptable these days. So it's only really representing what's shown online. It's not like for like most people. So I feel like a lot of this stuff would just not be, a lot of people wouldn't get. Like we watched some movies with my mum. We watched like Don't Look Up.
Oh,
she just like doesn't understand any of the references or any of like the, I guess it's sort of like inside jokes to people that are on the internet. A lot of the stuff just goes over your head if you're not aware of like, I guess, internet culture.
Yeah, 100%. Like it's just, you need to have like your finger on the pulse almost and like be amongst it and aware of it because it changes so quickly. But like usually the people that are on the internet, they're like the loudest voices out of like, they're like the minority, but they just seem like the majority on there.
Yeah.
So then like, yeah, what you're saying is like everyday people, like your neighbors and stuff, like how many of them actually know like what's going on?
Which is probably why they just watch free-to-air TV. Yeah. Speaking of Don't Look Up, it's a perfect segue. We watched that movie. That's the second time we watched it. And it's actually a really good movie starring
Jennifer Lawrence, Leonardo DiCaprio, Jonah Hill. Who's the one that won all the Oscars? The lady, she played the president.
Not Helen Mirren.
No, she's dope though.
Other lady.
Yeah, I can't remember.
The movie's about basically an asteroid that's going to come and annihilate Earth. And there was a close encounter, I think just yesterday, of a newly discovered asteroid 2023 DZ2 passed about 168 kilometers from Earth, halfway between us and the moon. It like flew right by.
I had no idea about this. Could you imagine if this actually like I was just like living my life yesterday and then could have died?
Yeah, without all the panic that you would have seen on like in that movie, for example. That's a good segue by me. The close encounter will offer astronomers the chance to study a space rock from just over 168,000 kilometers away. Less than half the distance from the Earth to the moon, making it visible through binoculars and small telescopes.
Pretty cool.
Pretty crazy. An asteroid the size of 140 to 310 feet happens about once per decade, providing a unique opportunity for science. It will fly past at about 5:50 a.m. on Sunday, so we missed it.
Okay, damn.
Maybe we can. Yeah.
We'll return until 20. Oh, we'll see it again. So does this circle the solar system and it comes back around?
Coming back in on a tight angle is going to hit us eventually.
Is it just like getting closer and closer and
spiraling
closer?
Around probably.
Far out. There's like so much stuff about space at the moment. Aren't they saying there's like aliens or like more evidence of aliens or like the White House has like released more proof?
Would you like me to Google that? Because I'm not too sure.
No, you can if you want to. I don't know if it's more exciting or not.
White House aliens, you're telling me to Google?
Maybe. I don't know. See if there's something out there. Any new news?
Every week we'll just check in and
to see if there's any new news.
No, looking at month old. It's a bit dated for us. Right, a month old.
Their first thing was like not aliens. So it's just an asteroid.
Yeah,
okay.
There's no chance that this asteroid was a city killer, but its close approach offers a great opportunity. So
maybe I just got aliens on the brain because we watched Nope the other night as well.
We just not doing any work and just watching all the Netflix lately.
It was date night.
That was a good movie. Maybe we can bring forward our playlist segment to today, to this episode, because that was a good movie. It's been out for a little while. I think it came out in cinemas maybe 12 months ago.
Yeah.
It is a new release on Netflix, but Nope, written and directed by
Jordan Peele.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. I'm pretty right with the names.
Very fun movie if you like your sci-fi like we do.
Yes. And it was like an interesting take on the whole like alien aspect as well. Because it was like one of those classic like farmhouse sort of style things. So they've got a big thing
It's
of
like a
the alien.
Western sci-fi.
Yeah, Western sci-fi. But I just love like a couple of times like he's in the car and it's just like, nope.
Yeah.
Yeah, not dealing with it.
Good movie.
Yeah. Creepy. Wouldn't want that to happen. So
And it has
At
the
all.
actor from the Asian dude. What was he used to be in? He used to be in Stephen Yeun. Lost? Was he in Lost?
I only ever watched like season 1 or season 2. I didn't really watch much else
He was
from
in
that.
Okja. Remember Okja?
Aw, yes.
Okja.
Okja. Yes, I do. Yeah, it's a good movie, that one as well. Twilight Zone.
Pretty sure he
Was
was
he?
in Lost.
Did you watch all of Lost? At all?
No. I don't remember. What was the last episode? They come out of the bunker and it was a dream or something?
No, wasn't it like they were all dead and it was like purgatory?
Oh, that's right.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sick ending.
Yeah. It's like that lost its ending, right? Haha. All those TV shows.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Let me have a sip of my drink because that one flew over my head.
I'll try. But a lot of those like TV shows and stuff from mid 2000s were all like had weird endings, I think, anyway. Like Heroes and all those sort of like slightly sort of like sci-fi dramas.
It was a unique time
Mhm.
for TV. I think everyone was trying to like make like the next HBO banger.
I think so. That was very much, I think one of the previous episodes we talked about like water cooler moments. And that, because no one's really watching free to air TV anymore. That was like the last sort of like generation of free to air TV. And now everything's like streaming.
It was right at the end of like, or at the height of like the torrent phase.
Yeah.
And everyone was torrent, like the transition between like waiting for the show to come on or even like the TiVo era. You know, they really had it here. Just like recording stuff when you weren't at home to watch it later.
Yeah.
And then it went to like to torrents and then into, I guess, like what's now considered streaming.
All right, that's like an interesting concept to think about it because everybody was downloading, right? Whether it was music or TV shows or movies, and those companies are like, damn, like we have to do something about this. People aren't going to stop downloading and watching like on their computers or online. Like, how can we get money from this? And then
Well,
bam, you have.
how are you going to get any ad revenue if you
Yeah.
don't? Everyone's just downloading and not getting any ads. Like it's an interesting time for how those studios would have made that money back then.
Yeah, so it's like that interesting transition from like downloading, obviously as illegally, but for free, versus now paying for a monthly subscription. If you think about it, it's pretty
They're
interesting.
making heaps of money now, right?
Yeah, they would be 100%. Like I used to like download like My Chemical Romance off like LimeWire and stuff from first to last. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about.
yeah.
Torrents. Every Game of Thrones episode every week. And it'd be like 20 different copies to get. Some of them would be like different resolutions and it'd be like literally a million people downloading the same file at the exact same time.
I used to like watch the movies online and stuff, and then you'd obviously, I don't know how I used to do it, but you used to watch the ones that would like film in the actual cinema.
Yeah.
And then it would just have like obviously it was like done in a foreign country because it had like subtitles and stuff down the bottom, and
Yeah.
they just try to like, it will shake every now and then, or you see like a head pop up and someone would just like walking off screen.
Yeah, that's just like no patience though, because if you always waited a week, there was always a better version coming right around the corner. So it's like if you watch one of those grainy ones with that filmed in the actual cinema with like the silhouettes of the people in front of you, it just means you weren't patient. You wanted that movie or show, or not even show because there weren't any shows like that. You wanted that movie ASAP and you weren't willing to wait a week to watch it.
No, I wanted to see whatever heartthrob I was interested in at the time. I wanted to see their movie straight away.
Who was your biggest heartthrob?
I'm just trying to think like from those days back then. Probably like someone like Elijah Wood or Orlando Bloom or something like that would try to watch it. But being here in Australia, it used to be a thing of like movies would take forever to come here. Like it would be like sometimes literally like 3 months, 6 months, like a year until those movies are released here on actual, because you have to only get them on DVD, onto actual DVD. And it took forever. Now they're like, just like streaming platforms and bam, you have it, or you go on YouTube and you have it straight away at the same time as someone in America. So back then you'd have to wait for so long, like either go to the Blockbuster and like rent it so you can watch it, or just like find like a crappy copy online.
Yeah, they used to force us out of the house a lot to watch stuff, right?
They did too, right? We had to leave the house, go on adventures, catch the train to like, your
Meet
local video store.
boyfriends.
Yeah, meet boyfriends,
You couldn't
girlfriends.
kiss them at home. Didn't you read an article about a kissing booth or something?
I did, yeah. There was China like made an invention of like a remote kissing machine.
So
So long distance.
I should Google this.
Yeah,
right?
long distance
China kissing machine.
Long distance kissing machine.
Long distance kissing machine.
Yes. So just say if you're traveling and you miss your loved one, and you want to get like a smooch, you can kiss the machine and it kisses you back.
Oh, this looks weird. Actually, we're going to have some video evidence here. Yeah, bring it up on the
big
prompter.
Screen. Oh my gosh. I saw like a small one.
Oh, it's got lips on it. It's like a fleshlight.
It is almost like a fleshlight. Oh my gosh, I didn't realize there's an attachment to your mobile phone either. So it's an app.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh, this is freaking weird.
So
okay.
press play.
If you're listening to the pod, also hit us a 5-star rating review right now while you're still here before you get completely grossed out.
Yeah.
If you haven't watched the video version, you can see that on Spotify and here on YouTube. You might want to look at this on the video version.
The web-based kissing device.
All right, so let's
zoom in there.
Zoom in on these perky Asian lips.
Let's have a look. I just thought it was kind of funny because you see, well, it's buffering and playing, but you see like a whole bunch of. Oh, I'll stop talking.
Nobody is kissing the in-person kiss goodbye.
Might want to skip through this to see them doesn't
lips.
block us.
So your kiss is replicated on their lips. Who says? Robotics lecturer Human Samani worked on that project, and he thinks there's an issue with the latest device being sold for about $40 in China. It's the lifelike lips.
You think it makes it too creepy?
Yes.
As one poster put it.
No doubt. Definitely creepy. So if you're just listening, it's basically a little rubber lip device that attaches to the phone and you kiss it. So your partner in a faraway land
can feel your
or
lips.
province can kiss and feel your non-rubbery lips.
Yeah.
So it says the device advertised as a way to let long-distance couples share real physical intimacy is causing a buzz around Chinese social media users who have reacted with both intrigue and shock. Equipped with pressure sensors and actuators, the device is said to be able to mimic a real kiss by replicating the pressure, movement, and temperature of a user's lips. Even the temperature sounds
The temperature,
weird,
yeah, it sounds
man.
super weird.
I mean, it says here, while many social media users saw a funny side to the device, others criticized it as vulgar and creepy. I guess it's not the most creepy thing I've ever seen. It is definitely. I'm surprised it hasn't been invented before.
Yeah, you'd think something like that. But when I saw this, I just remembered they had like, you had like couple bracelets you can get. So you, like each couple would have a bracelet and when you touch it, it would like vibrate. So you'd be able to feel them like thinking of you kind of thing. And then you also have like, I think for like long distance relationships, like touch lamps. So like you have a lamp and when you touch it, like it glows or the light goes off. So it just shows you like you're thinking about them kind of thing. Like one of those sort of corny aspects. So rather than sending someone a text message.
So people are just lonely, basically. They just want
lonely.
They need some sort of visual, physical, sensory touch or some sort of stimulation.
Yeah, I think that's what it comes down to at the end of the day. That's why they make creepy machines like this. But like the fact that it's attached to your mobile phones, you're essentially smooching your phone.
I wonder if they just have like a video, like a FaceTime on the front of it while you're doing it.
Remote kiss. Yeah. So you just see that close up of the eyes like closing, or if you're.
It's a big device though. Like
massive.
That back must have some sort of vibration or temperature aspect in it because I don't know what else it would be doing. It's just a pair of rubber lips.
Well, it have heaps of mechanics in it, right? So like if you've got pressure as well as like temperature, like imagine all the mechanics going in there to be able to replicate that.
$41 though, USD, not too expensive for part-time pleasure.
Would you like that for your birthday?
No. I wouldn't.
Fair enough.
I don't know. No.
Weird inventions, right? Where was this?
Flashlight though, different story.
Where was this at like the tech convention we're talking about?
See, yes.
Yeah.
Maybe there just wasn't a Chinese made devices there or something.
Mm-hmm. Could you imagine this was like a secret, so like under wraps, like patented device, and people are like, what are you working on? Like, none of your business.
The kissing jar.
The kissing jar?
That's what they're calling it. The kissing
Oh, really?
jar. There's a similar invention called the kissing jar.
Oh.
Maybe it's a better,
less creepier version?
I don't know if you can make it less creepy. You can definitely make it less perky.
Yeah. Let's have a look.
It's just as similar.
Oh, so it's more of like a flat sort of circle aspect. Kissing jar. Very American.
Oh, the lips are nowhere near as good. Give me the Chinese one.
Yeah. Right. It's smaller. Transmit realistic kissing sensations.
Senations. Didn't even say sensations.
Oh, really?
So this is Kiss Messenger, or Kissinger for short. With this device here has pressure sensors to measure the pressure from your lips.
So you can experience.
Sales dude is not creepy in the slightest.
No, he's not. Not a creepy hairstyle or a shirt. That's fine. Doesn't look lonely at all.
Anyway, yeah, you got a good point. That should have been one of the features on CES this year for sure.
If you had a long distance relationship, like what would be the one thing that you would invent to like help that, just in case you missed me?
What would I invent?
Yeah. Because like all these things happen because like there was like a need. So like obviously some couple were in like a long distance relationship and like, I miss kissing. So they made the kissing device.
I don't need that much physical affection. It's more just like maybe just a mobile phone so you can hear me all the time.
Yeah. Just like constantly on so you can just like talk through.
Or just like a hologram, basically.
Just pop them up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Be able to talk through your thoughts and stuff.
I think a lot of relationships will be long distance in the future.
What do you mean? Like
It's just like more convenient sometimes, you know?
well, if you're
It's metaverse. Like look at the future and where everything's going with VR and stuff. Like if you don't need that physical touch all day, every day, or if you're happy to using this little kissing device to get you by, then like why not just live in the VR world? What if they had like a VR setup where you just have you're in a bodysuit, a haptic suit, and then you can feel the touch. You can get massages. You can hold hands.
Yeah.
You can do all that stuff because there's pressure responses in the entire suit for you.
Well, yeah, the lips is just the beginning, right? Like it'd be whole suits and everything. I think wasn't there like a website that got shut down or had like an update not long ago. And they had like, it was like virtual assistant or like virtual boyfriend or girlfriend or something like that. And there was an update and their partners like changed and there was like an uproar because they fell in love with like their virtual person.
Isn't that a movie? Isn't that Her with Joaquin Phoenix?
It is a movie, but it was like a real life thing as well. Like it was a real life, like it actually happened as well. I'm pretty sure it was like happened like a month ago.
So they got upset because the software updated and the person wasn't the same.
Yeah, so like their virtual like girlfriend or boyfriend or the person they fell in love with was different. They weren't the same as they were before. Like they weren't responding the same.
So it's like a shift change. Like
Yeah.
you need to put the casual into shift.
Yeah.
And the person realized straight away that involved and that in tune with what the computer or whatever response was like giving them.
Yeah, so they were saying it changed, but like that just like I guess it just like puts a reality sort of back into it. Be like, oh, like it's a computer program. It's not
People
actually
change,
my girlfriend.
man. What do you expect?
Yeah. But like that's the whole thing. Like you're saying with the meta and stuff. Like eventually, what's going to be real and not real? Like how do you know that the person that you're like falling in love with is actually them, or is it just like a filter and stuff? Like you can get like you can get like TikTok or like Instagram filters that completely change the way you look.
Yeah, you're not going to go into like some fantasy world and like look like you look. You want to look like a superhero or like someone badass or a monster or something. You're never going to want to go in as yourself because if you can go into the metaverse as yourself, why not just go into the real world as yourself? You want to be some sort of inflated or heightened or physically more dominant version of yourself or whatever it is, or more attractive. You're not just going to like cruise on by in your regular normal meat suit.
That's true. That's like the movie Surrogate with like Bruce Willis, I think it was. Surrogate, yeah. Like it's with Bruce Willis and like
Surrogate,
yeah. Surrogate. Where they don't go into like a metaverse. It's just like they use like robot bodies and it's just like a slightly better looking version or a younger version of themselves. They stay at home with like a VR suit and then they have like the body suits and I guess it protects them from getting like damaged or dying or whatever. Like it's a very strange movie.
We were just like all on the movie train today.
Yeah, unintentionally. But yeah, that was like the one with the hair was like what his bodysuit sort of looked like. And then without it is like the bald and stuff. But it ends up like, I don't know, his bodysuit like gets damaged or whatever. And he ends up being like a real person. And everyone's just like, oh, you're real. Like, what are you doing? And then goes into like this commune of like real people and be like, everybody's living through a lens. Everybody's living through make-believe.
I think we're about 20 years away
from that type of thing.
Yeah.
Got a while to go.
I think it's an interesting concept now, and a lot of people like once like NFTs and metaverse like popped off in 2020, like it's become a household idea and name. Like people are aware of it, but only the smallest percentage of a fraction are actually invested into like growing it and like spending money on it and creating apps and coding and stuff. But those people will grow over time. Like it always takes the very, very small group of people to like make something gigantic, but it's going to take a long time.
Yeah, it's no longer like a sci-fi sort of concept. It's like a real life thing and be like, oh yeah, this could actually happen in our lifetime in a couple of years' time.
I reckon 20
years. Yeah, rather than just being like, this is like so untangible. I mean, like, I think I mentioned this before, but like Star Trek had like tablets and like mobile phones and stuff, and people were like, oh, that's so sci-fi, that's so futuristic, we'll never have that. And then here we are with like, you know, mobile phones are literally like another limb. Like you get lost without it.
It just takes ages for this software and stuff and hardware to like advance at that rate. Like we went from Nokia phones to like Blackberries to like hectic iPhones in 15 years?
Mm-hmm.
So like we're only now, and like that's a pretty, like even an iPhone's a pretty, looking at it now, it's a pretty basic device. Like it's just the apps and the coding. It there's not like a hardware that, other than the camera and the screen, there's not a ton of hardware in there. Like obviously there is, but it's not like something that like can involve your entire body.
No.
Or you look at like how long is it taken from PlayStation to do their first to second VR headset?
Oh, so long.
Like 10 years. Mm-hmm. So like it's gonna be a while before like the full body experience is there. Like there probably are, I think there already are a bunch of like haptic feed suits. Like you see the ones I think that hook up to the Oculus where they have the gloves, and there's like even like a treadmill, like a 3-directional treadmill.
Yeah.
But again, that's like, they're probably just proof of concept things, or if you can probably buy them for whatever, $1 million. But that sort of thing in the household will be 20 years.
Yeah.
But then I guess, Mike, to answer your question, what would I get? Probably just something that gives me a massage.
Yeah, fair.
But it doesn't have to be a relationship in that case.
No, you can literally just get like one of those like massage mats that will do it for you. Yeah. They exist.
And they don't talk back or use your bank card.
Hey, what's my money is your money. What's your money is mine.
Is it?
Yeah.
Interesting. Can I buy a massage suit?
Yeah, if you want to. As long as
chair?
I can use it as well. Yeah.
No. It's the his and hers version.
Oh, his and hers?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. We'll get his and hers massage.
What would you get? If you had to have a long distance relationship and I was living in Bangladesh.
I know, some sort of like hugging machine.
A hugging machine.
Yeah, like snuggle and hug, like a pillow. Like a pillow that would just like hug me, or like snuggle me in bed. But it'll be you.
So just a giant teddy bear.
Yeah. You are like a teddy
bear. With like arms, with like the wire inside the arm so you can just manipulate it to the shape you want.
Or like you just like, you have like an app, or like you put on gloves and then it moves when you move, and like you cuddle me. And
does it have to tap you on the back and say everything's going to be okay?
No, because you don't do that.
Come on. Yes, I do.
Yeah, you do sometimes when I'm having a bad day.
When you think about those two things, like they're pretty simple devices. The kissing things, I give them credit now because that's kind of hard to make.
Yeah.
It's pretty sensual.
It's pretty sexy.
Pretty sexy. What do you on USD? Let's see what the shipping costs. Maybe we can practice our smooching skills.
Try it out. No, we're getting like creepy now. We lost the plot. Sorry, everyone.
I think a pet would be better. Like, I don't know, a pet that never dies is probably something more interesting.
Like a robot
So it doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. It can just be like a companionship.
But it looks like a lifelike.
Yeah.
Like super lifelike.
Doesn't shed fur.
Mm-hmm.
Does all the same movements. Can like go at weird angles. Can lick its butt. All that sort of stuff.
Doesn't require expensive vet bills.
Just an update every now and then.
Yeah.
Every 6 months, new software, new firmware update.
Yeah.
Don't have to feed it. Maybe you can just feed it some love.
That'd actually be pretty handy. You know, do everything like a dog would do, but with none of like the side effects of like
we'll just
having
put
a dog.
Vets out of business completely.
Yeah, vets out of business. Don't have to worry about allergies. Save money on food.
I wonder if that would work because like, why do you get a pet?
Yeah, for companionship.
But at what level? If it doesn't speak English, you don't need it to like do robotic tasks.
Mm-hmm.
At what point does it take the joy away from it being a physical or like an oh my gosh, I can't even speak. Unpredictable sort of like being in a way. Yeah. Maybe you can factor in 15% unpredictability into the software, into the coding.
Yeah.
But at what point do you need it to be a physical life form to get the companionship? And like, is it like the personality of the dog that makes it, or is it just like the fact that it is a dog?
You know, it's probably like the personality, because like those little like kooky moments, you know, just make you laugh even more than just, you know, the normal everyday dog
So like,
behavior.
why can't that be just coded in? 5% kookiness.
5% kookiness.
At a random interval, make it do something kooky.
Yeah, that just makes you go, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like, what movies have had robotic dogs in them?
I want to say like Doctor Who, but that's more of a TV show.
Or like, what about like Wall-E? That's kind of like a dog kind of thing.
Sort of like a pet.
Sort of like just like a cute pet that you fall in love with, right?
Robot dogs.
Robotic dogs. Like this one here looks pretty savage.
Robot dog. Gizmo robot dog. Or Transformers. Robo dog. Right.
What about Foxter and Max? That looks horrible.
It does.
But like Wall-E, for example, imagine if Wall-E was a dog. Oh, they got these things from back in the day.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about those. Or you have like little like chirp ones that like flip. You go chirp, flip.
Yeah, okay. Looking at that now, my logic doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
List of robotic dogs.
You kind of need the pain. You need the pain of having a pet and the
the random accidentally pooping inside and just being like, what is...
The fear of some disease or something is like what increases the love.
Well, it's like life, right? Like it just gets into that question of being like life forms. Like you want life in your house, or do you want like mechanical robots in your house?
So what is it about it then? It's just the unpredictable nature, not knowing what's coming next, having to deal with and overcome.
But it's also the responsibility of keeping it alive, right? Like you have the responsibility of looking after something other than yourself. Like
it's
you
like
have
a
to
Tamagotchi.
feed it.
Like it's not, you're not that responsible, but you do feel bad if it does die.
Yeah, and you got to clean up after its poop.
So it's having something to be responsible about.
Yes, and if you have something to be responsible for, that helps with like mental health, right? Like so, you have to feed your pet, you have to come home to your pet, you have to walk your pet, all that kind of thing, rather than just being like coming home and doing nothing.
All right, well, we'll come home to the podcast here on the channel this Friday. Thursday release, and we'll be back for our next episode. Thanks, guys, for watching.
All right, thanks everybody. See ya.
I just end them abruptly all the time.
Yeah,
I have to.
why not? All right. Bye.
Bye.